So this is a video all about my adventures in Panama City, Panama. I traveled there from Clemson in early February, around February 3rd, with my boyfriend Daniel, and it was my first trip out of the country. Actually, it was my first trip ever on a plane too, so it was quite the experience for me, and was definitely one of the best experiences I've ever had. So when we arrived at the airport, which was only 4 hours after leaving the Atlanta airport, we were picked up by Daniel's sister and taken back to their house. One of the first things I noticed about Panama was the lack of traffic on the roads when we got there, and that's why I was completely surprised when I was told that we would be leaving extra early to arrive on time the next day to our destination, but apparently this is what traffic looks like during rush hour. So we were trying to skip all of that. The next day, I experienced my first piece of Panamanian culture. Our main reason for traveling to Panama in the first place was to attend the wedding of Daniel's cousin. The wedding was great and completely different from any of the weddings I've been to in the United States. The dress was a lot more formal than most of the weddings I've been to, and the ceremony was very formal as well. It was a traditional Catholic wedding, but the atmosphere was more casual. It definitely wasn't nearly as quiet as what I'm used to during the ceremony, which I loved. It was normal for guests to be taking pictures and chatting quietly. It was so much more comfortable in my opinion, so I definitely enjoyed the ceremony more. Afterwards, we were able to spend some time in Old Panama while the bridal party took pictures. This was really exciting for me because I'd never been, and I got to see a lot of the cool aspects of the city. Like I saw some monuments and artwork, and I saw people dancing in the streets, which was really cool. But it was definitely one of my favorite parts of the trip. One of the coolest things I got to see was the famous golden altar of the Church of San Jose. It is made of wood and covered in flakes of gold. It was originally in a church in Old Panama, but when a pirate attacked the city, the monks painted it black to hide the gold. The pirates did nothing to it, considering it worthless. Once they left, the monks were able to save the altar. Later, we attended the wedding reception, which was held at a resort in Panama. The actual party took place in a venue that overlooked the water, which was really pretty. Again, the dress was much more formal than what I'm used to, including floor-length dresses for the women. And it was definitely the best party I've ever been to. It lasted well into the night and included dancing and a limbo bar and even masks to wear for all of the guests. Then came the most stressful and adventurous part of the trip. Our plane was to leave around 9 the next morning, and the party lasted well into the night before. As you can imagine, we overslept a little bit and missed our taxi to the airport. Luckily, we found a bus that looked a little bit like this, and we paid to have the driver speed us over to the airport. Somehow we made that flight against all odds. Unfortunately, that was the last adventure and the end of my trip to Panama, but I can't wait to go back and experience even more of the Panamanian culture.